My name is Erik Jorgensen. I just a couple of days ago was elected to the Maine State House of Representatives, which, if you're familiar with the United States, you may know that our Congress in Washington has a House and a Senate. What you might not know is that each state has a similar structure. Right now I'm on sort of the very steep part of a learning curve. It's a learning process, and it started for me with the campaign itself. I spent 6 months pretty much walking around my neighborhood in Portland, Maine, knocking on doors, talking to people, hearing about what their concerns were, what was worrying them. And in our city, the concerns are probably like every other city. People are worried about taxes, they're worried about making sure there's enough schools, and the schools are good enough. They're worried about how do they make ends meet. And of course, like most of the world, we were coming out of a serious recession, and so people are concerned about jobs and the economy. So those are sort of universal things. This is an interesting body of people. There's about 170 people in the Maine State Legislature between the House and the Senate. It's not a professional organization in the sense there's no professional politicians. It's a part-time job. Most people are coming from other work that they do when they're not in session. So there are teachers, there are business people, there are lawyers, and there are people like myself who come out of non-governmental organizations. So it'll be a very, very diverse and interesting group of people. There's a lot of people from urban sections of Maine and rural sections all working together to try to figure out what's best for the state. We'll be spending the first half of the year deliberating on sort of changes to the law and trying to figure out what the state budget's going to be for the next year. Our success really is going to be measured by how well the two main parties work together. There's some independents as well. And there's one party, the Democrats, are pretty much in charge of the legislature now, but there's also a governor of a different party. So the two of them have to work together, and hopefully we won't end up with a revolution on our hands or anything like that. I don't think we will. I've worked for years with the legislature, but it's going to be a completely different experience being on the other side of the desk and seeing how the work is actually done from the inside. I'm looking forward to the challenge and excited about it, but I don't really know what. I'll have to come back and talk to you in 6 months and let you know how it actually turns out.